The Cogitating Ceviché presents Will Rogers, America's Cowboy Satirist, honoring the overlooked satirists and thinkers who altered our perspectives, number 22, by Conrad Hannon. Narration by Amazon Polly. Preface. Welcome to the 22nd installment of our series, Honoring the Overlooked Satirists and Thinkers Who Altered Our Perspectives. In this edition, we spotlight Will Rogers, an American humorist whose wit and wisdom left an indelible mark on the cultural and political landscape of early 20th century America. Known for his folksy charm and incisive commentary, Rogers mastered the art of satire, making him a beloved figure whose insights continue to resonate with audiences today. Throughout this series, we have journeyed through the lives and legacies of those whose intellectual and comedic contributions have significantly shaped public discourse, yet whose stories are not as widely recognized as they should be. In revisiting the life of Will Rogers, we aim to shed light on his unique ability to weave humor with critique, offering lessons on the power of satire to influence society positively and thoughtfully. This article explores Rogers' evolution from a vaudeville performer to a national voice of reason, his key works, and the timeless relevance of his satirical style. As we delve into his story, we invite you to reflect on how Rogers' approach to humor and commentary might provide valuable insights for navigating our current social and political climates. Join us as we celebrate the wit and enduring wisdom of Will Rogers, a true pioneer whose satirical lens offered laughter and a profound connection to the core of American society. Introduction. In the tapestry of early 20th century American culture, few figures are as emblematic and endearing as Will Rogers. Renowned for his sharp wit and disarming charm, Rogers carved a niche as a master humorist and acute social commentator. His legacy, characterized by humor and poignant observation, offers a window into the nation's past, framed with a smile yet underscored by earnest commentary. Rogers' career spanned various platforms, from the dusty arenas of vaudeville stages to the glittering screens of cinema and the printed pages of daily newspapers. This unique positioning allowed him to bridge disparate worlds, connecting with a diverse American audience. His adept use of media made him a beloved entertainer and a pivotal figure in the evolution of American satire, adeptly using his platform to critique and comment on the pressing issues of his time. Early life and career. Born on November 4, 1879, in the Cherokee Nation, Indian Territory, now Oklahoma, Will Rogers emerged from humble beginnings that profoundly influenced his worldview and comedic style. His Cherokee heritage significantly shaped his identity and approach to life and humor, providing him with a unique perspective that he often explored in his later works. Rogers grew up with a deep appreciation for the complexities of American society, straddling cultural divides that he would later address with his characteristic wit. Rogers' entertainment career began in the dusty rings of the rodeo circuit, where he initially showcased his skills as a trick roper. His lasso acts, filled with humor and remarkable skill, soon became a gateway to vaudeville, where his talents truly began to shine. Rogers honed his gift for storytelling and sharp comedic timing on the vaudeville stage, quickly becoming a crowd favorite. His ability to connect with his audience through humor, humility, and gentle satire was evident early on. It became the cornerstone of his career as he transitioned into more public platforms. His early experiences in rodeo and vaudeville sharpened his performance skills. They shaped his approach to commentary, which blended humor with keen observations of daily life and societal norms, resonating deeply with audiences across the country. Rise to prominence. Will Rogers' ascent from vaudeville stages to national fame was marked by a seamless transition into writing and public speaking, where his influence as a social commentator truly took hold. His folksy, straightforward style, peppered with humor, endeared him to a broad American audience, transcending the typical confines of theatrical entertainment. One of the key milestones in Rogers' career was the launch of his daily newspaper column, which began syndication in the early 1920s. Through these columns, Rogers offered witty, often satirical takes on the day's most pressing issues, from politics to economics, making the complexities of national affairs accessible and engaging to the everyday American. His ability to distill complicated topics into understandable and entertaining snippets helped solidify his reputation as a trusted voice in American media. Radio was another arena where Rogers excelled. His broadcasts reached millions of listeners, allowing his down-to-earth observations to enter Americans' homes nationwide, further broadening his impact and influence. His natural charm and genuine concern for societal issues made him a beloved radio personality when the medium was just beginning to realize its full potential. Additionally, Rogers' film career during the 1920s and 1930s brought his satirical prowess to the silver screen, where he starred in over 50 films. These roles often mirrored his real-life persona, blending humor with a critique of social and political life, thus reinforcing his status as America's de facto social commentator. His films not only entertained but also offered audiences a reflection on their circumstances through the lens of Rogers' perceptive and humorous observations. This multifaceted approach to media, not just as entertainment but as a platform for commentary, was pivotal in Rogers' rise to prominence, making him a household name and a significant figure in the landscape of American satire. Satirical style and techniques. Will Rogers' mastery of satire was evident in his clever use of irony, exaggeration, and parody to entertain and provoke thought among his audience. His approach was subtle yet incisive, allowing him to critique politicians, policies, and various societal norms without appearing harsh or polarizing. This nuanced technique was key to his widespread appeal, as he was able to make serious points in a manner that was digestible and often lighthearted. Irony was a staple in Rogers' repertoire. He often used it to highlight contradictions in political rhetoric or societal expectations, exposing the absurdity of certain situations by juxtaposing them against common sense. For example, he famously said, "I don't make jokes, I just watch the government and report the facts." This line cleverly uses irony to critique political actions, suggesting that their inherent absurdity makes them naturally comedic. Exaggeration was another tool Rogers wielded effectively. By blowing certain traits or situations out of proportion, he created a comic effect that illuminated deeper truths. In discussing prohibition, Rogers quipped, "Oklahoma will vote dry as long as they can stagger to the polls." This exaggeration not only pokes fun at the state's stance on alcohol prohibition, but also comments on the irony of voters supporting anti-alcohol laws while potentially under the influence themselves. Parody featured prominently in Rogers' satirical toolbox, allowing him to mimic or mock various political figures and societal conventions in a humorous rather than offensive way. His skill in imitating the speech or behavior of prominent individuals underscored his points about their policies or public personas, making his satire both impactful and accessible. These techniques, combined with Rogers' folksy charm and affable persona, allowed him to weave satire into everyday discourse, making his critiques enjoyable and thought-provoking without alienating. His ability to balance humor with critique is a testament to his skill as a satirist and remains a significant aspect of his enduring legacy in American humor and commentary. Impact and legacy as a satirist. Will Rogers' impact as a satirist was profoundly felt during turbulent times, particularly during the Great Depression, when he used his humor to entertain and offer solace and a sense of connection to his beleaguered audience. His commentary during this era was both a balm and a sharp critique, often highlighting the shortcomings of political decisions and economic policies that affected the everyday American. One of his most poignant observations during this period was his ability to address the vast disparities in wealth and the common man's struggles, famously remarking, 10 men in our country could buy the whole world, and 10 million can't buy enough to eat." This statement, while simple, succinctly captured the economic inequalities exacerbated by the Depression, resonating deeply with his audience. Rogers' use of humor to discuss these grave issues helped humanize the statistics and policies, making them relatable and understandable. Rogers' legacy as a satirist is marked by his ability to dissect complex issues with straightforward, often humorous observations that endeared him to the public. His approachable style and everyman persona made his commentary accessible to many Americans, bridging divides across economic and social spectrums. His satirical legacy continues to be appreciated for its candor and humanity, reflecting a deep understanding of the American psyche and the power of humor in navigating difficult times. His enduring appeal as a satirist also lies in his universal message of unity and understanding, often using his platform to remind his audience of shared values and common ground, even amid political or economic strife. Rogers' ability to laugh at himself and the absurdities of life without malice or divisiveness is a cornerstone of his lasting impact on American satire and commentary. Key works and contributions. Will Rogers left an indelible mark on various forms of media, from print journalism to radio and film, each platform amplifying his unique voice and perspective. His contributions were characterized by a blend of humor, insight, and a relatable simplicity that made complex societal and political issues accessible to the masses. Newspaper columns. Rogers wrote over 4,000 newspaper columns syndicated nationally, offering his humorous takes on daily news and events. One of his most quoted lines, "All I know is just what I read in the papers," reflected his role as a common man's thinker, interpreting and commenting on the news in an insightful and relatable way. Radio broadcasts. Rogers' venture into radio in the 1930s brought his voice into American homes, offering live and unscripted commentary that often included impromptu responses to listeners' questions. This direct engagement with his audience was revolutionary at the time and cemented his role as a national commentator. Film career. In films like State Fair, 1933, and Judge Priest, 1934, Rogers played characters that mirrored his real-life persona, wise, witty, and unpretentiously philosophical. His films were well received for their humor and the natural charm he brought to his roles, often portraying the honest, down-to-earth American grappling with and humorously commenting on societal and personal dilemmas. Public speaking. Rogers was also a popular public speaker, his lectures blending humor with commentary, much like his columns. His talks often drew large crowds, eager to hear his simple solutions to complex problems, delivered with his trademark wit. Reception by public and critics. Rogers was widely beloved by the public for his ability to connect with ordinary Americans. Critics, too, appreciated his work, particularly for its sharp wit and the way it captured and critiqued the essence of American life and politics without alienation or bitterness. His approach to satire was seen as a unifying force, bringing laughter and reflection to a broad audience across political and social spectrums. His contributions across various media demonstrated his versatility as a performer and commentator and solidified his legacy as a critical observer of American society. His works remain a testament to the power of humor in public discourse and continue to be studied and appreciated for their depth, humor, and historical value. Reflections on modern relevance. In today's digital and politically charged environment, Will Rogers' style of satire would likely resonate for its gentle, inclusive approach and its reliance on humor to bridge divides rather than deepen them. His folksy, straightforward manner of addressing even the most contentious issues with a smile might be a welcome reprieve from the often harsh and polarizing satirical voices that dominate current media landscapes. Rogers' penchant for observational humor, rooted in everyday experiences and common sense, transcends the time in which he lived and remains relevant as a counterpoint to the complexities of modern life. His ability to poke fun at political figures and societal norms without descending into cynicism or divisiveness would be particularly poignant in today's climate, where public discourse often lacks the empathy and wit that Rogers championed. Legacy and contemporary satirical commentary. The legacy of Will Rogers in the satirical commentary is evident in the work of modern satirists who seek to enlighten while entertaining and who use their platforms to highlight absurdities in a humanizing rather than alienating way. His influence can be seen in the gentle satire of columnists like Dave Barry or in the witty yet pointed commentary of television hosts like Jon Stewart, who, like Rogers, combines humor with sharp social and political insight. Rogers' approach, characterized by a lack of malice and an abundance of common sense, offers a blueprint for contemporary satirists on how to engage with sensitive topics in a thoughtful and lighthearted way. His work underscores the importance of humor in its most noble form, connecting people rather than dividing them, encouraging reflection rather than inciting confrontation, and bringing joy even as it seeks to inform. Reflecting on Rogers today, it's clear that his legacy as a satirist is not just in the laughter he elicited, but in the conversations he provoked, making him a timeless figure whose methods and messages hold enduring significance in the ever-evolving landscape of satire. Conclusion. Will Rogers remains a towering figure in the annals of American culture, not only for his prowess as a humorist but for his insightful use of satire as a tool for social commentary. With a charm that was as disarming as it was sharp, Rogers carved a unique niche in the hearts of Americans, serving up laughs intertwined with critiques that were as potent then as they are now. His enduring appeal lies in his ability to meld humor with acute social observations, making the bitter pill of critique easier to swallow with a hearty laugh. Rogers' role as a cultural icon is cemented by his mastery of multiple media formats and his approach to satire, which was inclusive and devoid of malice. His commentary was never meant to alienate, but to enlighten and unite people in thought, if not opinion. Modern satirists might look to Rogers' methods as a blueprint for effective communication in today's highly polarized society. His ability to engage with critical social issues without losing his humor reminds us that satire does not have to be divisive. It can be a unifying force fostering understanding and dialogue. As we reflect on his legacy, it is clear that Rogers' approach to humor and criticism offers valuable lessons for anyone looking to navigate the complexities of modern-day satire. His style teaches the importance of grounding humor in truth and humanity, ensuring that it strikes a chord not just for a moment's laughter, but for deeper reflection. In a world where the lines between satire and sincerity are ever blurring, remembering Will Rogers' contributions can inspire a kinder, more thoughtful approach to the art of satire. Thank you for your time today, and until next time, stay gruntled.